Hello, some developers, and in this video, we are going to learn about async storage in React Native. So basically, I have set up a new project using Expo. So if you do not know how to set up a new project using Expo, then do not worry about it. I have basically added the steps over here. You can create a new project using this particular command, and do not forget to add this template flag basically, so that you can get a list of options on how you want to set up your project. For this video, I have basically selected the blank template, which is the first option, and I would highly recommend you to do the same so that you can follow this tutorial smoothly. Now, after creating the project, what we need to do is we need to basically I have basically set up this small UI. I have just basically added a text input and I have added three buttons. So like we are not doing all this from scratch in this tutorial because this is more specific to the UI and stuff, and this tutorial is basically more on how we can basically store and retrieve data from a sync storage. So why to waste time in writing all this boilerplate code, right? So this is just basic text input and buttons, and I have added some styles over here. You can like go through them. So yeah, and now what we need to do is we need to basically I would go to my Notion doc and let us see what actually async storage is, if some of you do not have any idea. So async storage is basically asynchronous unencrypted persistent key value storage solution for our React Native applications. Unencrypted means that it is not very secure, it is not encrypted. So if someone gets access to your mobile or your devices, they can basically use their own tactics to retrieve data. So this is not very secure. And persistent means that even if you refresh or reload your app, then also your data will be it is going to stay persisted in the sync storage. It won't You won't lose your data. And the only exception is if you uninstall the app, and then again if you install it, then that's the case that where you might lose the data. But if you are just refreshing or reloading it, then you would see that your state is persisted on the UI and in the async storage as well. And this is basically key value storage solution. So just like in JavaScript we have objects, right, in a key value form. So in this also we basically save data using a key and then we assign a value to it. We'll see how it is being done. And the purpose is basically it allows data persistence across app restarts, making it useful for storing user preferences or non-sensitive data. This is the only thing that we have discussed over here. So now let us go to the actual uses. So the very first thing which you need to do is install this community package. Let us head over to it. Okay, so yeah, this is the package that we are going to use. And over here, get started. You need to run this particular command in order to install this. So I have added the command over here itself also, I think. Yeah, okay, it is for importing. So yeah, you can just use this particular command. I will add it over here as well. All right, so now yeah, so if you are using Expo, there is no additional step required. But if you are using React Native CLI, you might need to do port install in case of iOS. So like in case of React Native CLI, you can head over to the docs for installation and read the necessary steps, extra steps. Though there aren't many steps to follow, but just the basic one, which is port install, when we are adding some native packages, that a basic common step that we need to follow. Now the second thing is basically importing. So let us copy this command from here and paste it over here. So here we are installing importing the sync storage. Now what we need to do is we basically need to store and save data, right? So for that, what we are going to do is I'm going to create a function save data, and it would be an async function. And we will add a try catch block, and over here we will use the sync storage that we have imported, and we are going to use a method called set item, which will basically set the item in the storage. We need to provide a key, as we had discussed from the Notion docs, that it works with a key value pair. So let us name it user, and the name would be, let's say, the awesome dev. Okay, And so you are basically seeing that we have a user input over here, right? And we want to save that particular data. So what we can do over here is, okay, what's the issue? Yeah, okay, I basically need to modify it. Yeah, so we are basically using a text input. So I want to take the input from the user and then save it from the local data. So let us make a state for it. And we are going to use state to handle our state. Let us pass empty string for now. And once we have the input, we are going to replace it with this one. You can obviously save the hardcoded data as well, but for the sake of this tutorial, let us go with the input, user input. And now once the data is saved, what we can do is we can uh, give a alert data saved. Okay, also it is async, so we need to add await before it. Do not forget to omit it. I mean, do not forget to add it. Yeah, so now what we need to do is we need to basically use this over here on press save data. Also we need to bind our input to this particular text input, because how would it know that we need to take input from here. So for the value, I'm going to add input, and for on change text, I'm gonna pass the function set input. Yeah, so the binding is almost done, and we can, I think we can save data. And but before saving the data, let us also make the function to fetch data so that we can see it over here in the stored data. Okay, so let us make another function, fetch data. And over here we are going to use another method from async storage. It is get item. So here what we need to pass is we just need to pass the key name. You don't have to pass the value, because we are not setting the value, we are retrieving it. And data retrieved. Here what we can do is one more additional step is, if, okay, we need to store the fetched value, right? So value, and if the value is not equal to null, which means there is some value, in that case we are going to use this store, we are going to display it in the stored data variable. So let us make another state. All right, and now here we are going to update our state, which is set stored data. I will explain you the whole thing, just wait for a not stored data value. Yeah, so what is going over here is that once we have saved our user input successfully, we need to fetch it, right? And we need to fetch and store, display it over here. And for that, for displaying our data, for updating the UI, we generally use state, right? So for that particular thing, I have added another state variable. So this is a setter method, which will basically set the value that is being fetched from the async storage, and then it will update the UI. And we are using this particular store data variable over here. Instead of hard coding it, let us do this. And now let us check if it is working fine. So for fetch data, what we can do is we basically want that whenever our app loads, okay, let us handle that case in a while. First let us get data on press fetch data. Yeah, so now let us save it, try saving it. Okay, data is successfully saved. We got an alert. There are no errors. Thanks. And it is dev. And now let us try to get the data. Yeah, see, we have successfully get the data. It is DE because I forgot to add it while saving. I basically saved DE also only. So yeah, we have the store data as the awesome div. So hope you have understood how we can save and fetch data. And now we have basically successfully saved and fetched our data. So now let's see that if after refreshing the app, if we are able to retrieve our data or not. So let me refresh it using command control and Z. Okay, it's command shift and Z. And you can see on the UI the data has been lost. I will come to that later. But if I basically press on this get data, you will see the data coming and showing up on the UI. So let us check it out. Yes, there you go. So we have our data stored in our async storage. So that is the meaning of persistence. That even after you refresh or reload the app, your data will be saved in the async storage. And let me just kill the app once. And let us see if after killing the app it works or not. So if I again to get data, see, our data is as it is, so it has not been removed from the sync storage. And so this is the benefit of using sync storage. So now what about the UI part? So let's say if I reload the app, you will see that it is gone. So that's not an issue. What we can do is we can just put a use effect to work, and we can fetch our data on the initial reload, on the initial load. So fetch data and put an empty dependency array over here so that it will run only once after the initial render. So now let me reload the app, and there you go, our data is persisted on the UI itself. Not basically persisted, but we are fetching it from the sync storage on the initial load, hence you are able to see it. So yeah, we have covered three use cases of async storage: save data, and fetch data on the initial load. Now what if you want to remove the data? Yeah, so if you want to remove data from the sync storage, what you can do is, let us make another function for it. And here again we are going to use try catch. And for the error, what I'm gonna do is I'll log the error over here. You can like do the same inside the about two methods as well. I haven't done it yet. So here like this, and over here. So the next thing we can do is in the, let us make it async first. And now here I will use a wait keyword, and okay, like this. And now what we need to do is we need to get a method from async storage itself. Async storage dot remove item. Okay, somehow it is complaining wait. Okay, I again made a mistake. It won't be like this. Okay, async, there is some issue, I think. Remove data, why it is throwing a syntax issue. Okay, the spelling is wrong. All right. Yeah, so now we are using this remove item method, and I think it takes a key, right? Let us cross check on our uh, documentation itself. So remove data, yeah, obviously it will take a key, otherwise how would it know that what data has to be removed? So user like this. And if you we need to attach it over here on press. Okay, and also what we are going to do is, if there is some error, we are doing it over here. If the value is not null, only then, okay, it is forget. Okay, yeah, we need to show an alert. Data removed successfully. So now let us try to remove the data, and let me just comment this one. Let me refresh it again. Yeah, so let's see. First again fetch the data, get data, and we have our data, right? Now let us try to remove that data. Okay, data removed successfully. And if you're basically trying to get it, okay, we are still getting it. Okay, it is because we haven't reloaded the app. And now if I get the data, you would see it is basically null because the data has become null. So in that case, if you want to add some uh, like placeholder data or fallback value, you can do that as well, where we are rendering it over here, right? So if stored data exists, only then we are going to show it. Otherwise we are going to show no data exist. Yeah, because stored data is null, hence we are going to see no data exist. So this is how you can remove the data. Okay, so the next thing that we are going to do is we are going to basically clear all the data from the async storage. For that also we have another function which is given to us by async storage itself. So clear all data, and we are going to use a function clear over here like this, and it won't take any key because we need to clear all data, which means that we are going to remove every key from the async storage. And let us change the alert messages as well. And now we are going to attach this clear all data to some button. Let's say this one, clear all data. Okay, and now what we need to do is we just have one key right now, right? So let us make another key, but for that we are not going to use a state variable. Let us just hardcode the key. So let's say it is user2, and the value is basically hard coded, not hard, it is hard coded. And we'll save it on the press of save data only. No need to create another method for that this. And now in order to fetch data, we are going to fetch it uh, just like how we did with our first key. So we are going to fetch this second key when we press this get data button. Okay, so let us change the key to user2 and the value to, let's say, user2. And we need to set the value over here also, right? So for that we need to create a state variable because we need to show it on the UI as well. So let's say user to set user to. If you are getting confused about all this, don't worry, I will explain it the whole process once again. So now what we need to do is we need to use this state variable over here because we need to set the value to like this, and the value is user2. Okay, and now what else needs to be done? We are saving it, we are fetching it, and we won't clear it right now. Let us see if we are able to fetch it successfully. So let me do it. mm, User to like this, and let me get the data. Okay, we aren't showing it anywhere on the UI. So user to data, and it would be if user to exist. And let's do this in a proper way. We can use nullish pulsing operator over here. So if user to exist, if it is truthy, then it will show it. Otherwise, if it is falsy, it will show no data exist. Now let us do it like this over here as well. So now let us try to fetch it, get data. Okay, it is already here. Let me just refresh it once again. Okay, so initially we have the data as null. So let me save the awesome dev, which is our user key. Let us understand this is our user key. Okay, this one. Now I'm hard coding another user just to show you that we can clear all the data from the sync storage. But in order to clear all data, I need another user, right? So that's why I have created another hard coded user over here. Okay, so it will get saved just when we are saving this dynamic input. So let us save it. Data saved, and now let us try to fetch it. See, both our values have been fetched. Now if I put clear data, then you will see we won't be able to fetch any one of them. That's how you know that your data has been cleared. So let us see. Okay, data has been removed. Now let me reload it. See, none of the data has been on the UI. Even if like I do get data, you will see nothing is here on the UI because it has been removed from the sync storage. So this was the clear old data. Now let us move to our Notion guide and see what else we have. So this is the complete code that you will get. Okay, you can use this code in order to, like, if you get into some issues, you can take it as a reference. I haven't added the user 2 part, which so you can see it from the video itself. No issues over there. Let me just add. Okay, let us not add it first. Complete this single user part, and then once you start on the clear all data, then you can watch the video again to get the in order to know how to clear the data. Now there are some real world use cases of when and where we are going to use async storage, because this was just too simple, right? You are not able to see what real world use case it holds. So let's say you are building any quiz app for, like, let's say a client or in your office. So imagine a quiz app where answer user can answer multiple choice questions. If a user exits the app before completing the quiz, they should be able to continue from where they left. Because let's say you are on the third question and you there was some work that came and you closed the application, and when you came back you see that whole your progress has been lost. So this is such a bad user experience, right? So in that case, what we can do is we can save the data to backend. But if let's say you are saving it in async storage, you want a local storage. For that you can use async storage. So here what we can do is we can store the current question index to our async storage and selected data, selected answers, and when the app is reopened we basically retrieve the stored data and resume the quiz. This is how it works. Okay, so whatever data you want to resume, you can put that in async storage. And yeah, let's say you are basically there is another application that you are building, basically a chat app, and like your project manager or someone told you that we need a feature where like once a user starts sending has sent 5 messages, then we need to show ads to them. So in that case also, what you can do is you can keep a count of the user's messages, like what how many messages he has sent, and then you can show add and add to them. Okay, so that's how these are the two real world use cases of using async storage. So I hope you did understand the basic use cases of async storage and also the real world use cases. So this was it for today's in this video. There would be a part 2 for async storage. We'll see more methods of async storage, but for this video and these are the some new common use cases. I mean, I haven't used anything beyond this, but if there is a need for you to use something else, you can, for now you can refer this in async storage documentation, or I will create another async storage part 2 video. If you like, put some comment in this video itself. If there is a need to that, then I will bring another part 2.